Hello and welcome from Joy Speaks and Yusuf Musings. Welcome to episode 2 of Create the Edge. In this episode, Yusuf and I will try and help the travel and hospitality industry and businesses operating in these two industries to manage disruption that's come on board.
Especially brick and mortar businesses in the travel and the tourism and the hospitality sectors, they need to ask themselves whether they're embracing the digital transformation that is happening all around them. For example, the easiest and the most important question you need to ask yourself is, do you have a mobile enabled website? Are you actually providing all your necessary offers to your customers at one click? And that's the most important thing. So, Joy, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. Given the advent, digital technology basically has disrupted these two industries. It's made it stand on its head. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, if you take a look at the aggregator sites, we all use the aggregator sites, be it for hotel, be it for flights, and there's quite a few of them. I'm happy to name, but then nobody's paying us for this episode, so we're not going to name them. But given the aggregator sites, two things are happening. The service quality, one, as you rightly said, one click and I'm able to do everything. And there's a flip side to it. And the second thing is price. There is a vast difference if you go to an airline website to book versus an aggregator, and if you go to a hotel website to book versus an aggregator. So digital has actually transformed or changed the rules of the game the way it used to be played. Yusuf, to share a story in terms of how to create and manage an edge that helps the hospitality industry.
Thank you, Joy. I'd like to actually share two stories, especially in the travel and tourism sector, because I do have to travel quite a bit due to business. And, there are last minute changes which are occurring all the time. So especially with some of these aggregator websites, you do get perhaps the best deal. However, there are numerous cancellation or change fees, which can actually far outstrip and outweigh the actual price that you've originally paid for the booking. And that's where I think the brick and mortar travel agencies should really focus on, and how they can actually sort of target their audience properly, whether it is the MNC or it is the SME businesses, how they can actually ensure that the value proposition that they're adding, because they obviously have the purchasing power per se, how they're actually sort of translating that into their clients' business expenses and savings. Also in the hospitality sector, there was this very well-known five-star hotel, which was booked during one of my business travels to Mumbai in India. And it was booked for 5 nights for a litigation consulting matter that I had been to. However, that needed to be extended. And I'd done the booking on booking.com. And it had to be extended. And when I went down to the concierge and the front desk, they said, yes, they would be able to extend my booking directly with them, but the price difference was at least an additional 20% on top of the price that I had paid per night from the aggregator. So, and that really surprised me. And I actually, stood in front of them and booked online from my mobile phone on the exact same rates that I paid before, which the hotel themselves weren't able to give to me. So these are little aspects which really, really surprised me. Yes, there are obviously hotels which are using the aggregators properly by ensuring that they are giving them the opportunity for travelers to book at cheaper rates. However, you need to work a bit closely with them to ensure that there is that price transparency, which is then translated into savings for your end user. What do you think, Joy?
Absolutely. Let me break this down for our audience a little bit more. Thank you, Yusuf. Those are two very, very helpful stories. Travel industry, if you're a brick and mortar travel agent and you're wondering, how on earth am I going to grow my business? So here's how you can create the edge. Identify your target audience very, very, very clearly. That's key. Sit with your team, figure out who would be the best group of business travelers, for example, that you want to offer your service to, because that's where the money lies. So if you're giving it to a multinational, the multinational possibly would be pretty cost efficient concern. So if you come with a service offering that takes away this cancellation fees and a quick turnaround and itineraries, it could help. You go down the scale and probably go down to a small enterprise, single business owner who has to travel around to pitch meetings and everything. So let's say Yusuf is running his business by Yusuf in Singapore, and he has to travel within a Monday to Friday between Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, back to Singapore. And what happens is when he first flies out on a Monday morning on the first leg to Hong Kong, he realizes he needs to stay over in Hong Kong in place of flying out on Wednesday till Thursday. So he WhatsApps over to the travel agent, and in place of going online where he has to cancel his ticket, it's 100% cancellation, book a new ticket, which is going to be probably 200% more than the airfare he had paid. That is the kind of service identification that would help a brick and mortar travel agent. So the key here is identify your target audience clearly, talk to them, understand their needs. If it's a price need or it's a service need, evaluate the resources you have to deliver that. Then go ahead and do it. For the hospitality trade, I think Yusuf's made a very, very valid point. No matter whether it's a business travel or it's a leisure travel, we always evaluate. Yes, we all want the best. We'd love to stay in the 5 and the 7-star hotels as well as in high-end Airbnbs and OYOs. But price does play a significant role in this. So when you're booking and you're in a 5-star and you've got, as Yusuf's example, 5 nights, you are going down to extend with the same expectation that the rate per night is exactly the same. It's a huge dissonance of that brand in terms of experience when at the moment of truth, you find out that you're 20% higher. That's absolute no-no in any business strategy, business marketing, sales, whatever you want to term it. It's an absolute no-no. You've just broken the entire wow factor of a client over 5 days. So the second tip, aggregator sites are here to stay. Hospitality, get your aggregator partners together, negotiate what works for both of you. You're in this together to make a profit, but the person helping you to make that profit is the customer. So work with your aggregator site as a team, create the collaboration that you need, co-create the pricing and the value-added services, and that's your edge for the aggregator as well as for you, because an aggregator is going to be very happy if you give him extra room nights at a certain price. Take it. That's from Create the Edge, episode 2.
Thank you once again. We would definitely request you to leave with us your comments as well as your feedback. Take care.
Thank you.